Hey you guys, I wanted to come on here and do a follow-up discussion to the first video I made about Black mental health. Some of what I want to address in this video will almost be the same as what was discussed in my initial video, but I want to discuss a situation that one of my subscribers is going through currently and how it greatly perpetuates the issue of being so strong that our emotions and feelings become shadowed and obscured. Before I get into this situation with my subscriber, make sure you guys go and check out ashkickin.com for all of your skincare and health needs. If you use my code ChrisMoore1, you will get 15% off your order at checkout. All of the products are 100% organic and they do take the time to make sure each product is made from hand, so make sure you guys go and check that out. But I want to go ahead and give a little commentary on this discussion because I am well aware that Black mental health still largely continues to be a taboo subject within the confines of our community due to the multiple narratives put out in order to suppress the arduous amounts of stress that we go through. And in addition to all of this, Black people deal with the trauma passed down to them from the genetics of our ancestors through epigenetics. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a fervent believer in this mechanisms because I do think that the experiences and situations our ancestors went through somehow manifest in the behaviors we exude today. So when I make mention of the generational traumas, I do that for a reason. It's to help reinforce the reality and climate we are subject to currently. And yes, it is true that our community does not have adequate resources to sustain ourselves, and so it unfortunately involves frequenting other factions of people for biological purposes. And in the realm of mental health services, that unfortunately rings true as well. And I say unfortunately because while I do understand the importance of addressing mental health and being able to unpack all of the debilitating circumstances that a Black person goes through, these discussions I feel should be had with people who look like us. A person from a larger society is not able to sympathize with the plight that you face, nor will they ever be able to comprehend the reality of your current lived experience. And so essentially, you have to try and help them to understand not only your state of oppression, which disseminates from that same professional, but in the same sense, you have to be cognizant of the words expressed by that professional because, in all respect, it probably isn't wise to seek quality medical advice from someone outside of your culture and race. Just because someone has a PhD in a field doesn't necessarily mean that that person's character is one of virtue, meaning that he or she may very well have some ill intentions for you. So, this is why I say seek counsel and health services from someone who looks like you if possible. But for those of us who don't feel comfortable or don't have the means to find a therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist, or just some type of a health professional that specializes in mental health services within your local area, I highly recommend sitting down and maybe talking with a close friend or family member that knows what you go through on a daily basis. This way, there is some familiarity established, and this person is able to help give you healthy advice without being intrusive. And if you're someone where that isn't an option, or the close friend or family member is the source of the tension you face, then obviously you should not consult with that person because their intention ultimately is to make the already grueling amount of stress you face become intensified. And if this is the case and you aren't able to talk to anyone, try seeing if there's some type of an activity you can participate in that allows you to undergo a respite, even if only temporarily, because we all need to be able to release the pressures we internalize from the world and the strenuous routine trials. Maybe see if you can listen to some smooth jazz or try to listen to various relaxing sounds. For me, I try and listen to smooth ocean waves on the beach because that's what brings me calm. And it does a good job at clearing my mind. And like I mentioned previously, try going outside and taking a deep breath using effective breathing exercises. Something as simple as deep breaths in and out, even if you have to count in your mind before each breath is released, is beneficial. Treat yourself to getting a massage. A licensed massage therapist is able to hit certain pressure points in our bodies when mental health starts to become psychosomatic. Hot rock treatment, a spa day just for you, acupuncture even. You deserve to pamper yourself because you are important and you matter. Remember, you and your health are number one and take precedence before anyone or anything. You are your primary responsibility. Now, I want to describe the situation of my subscriber, and I will make sure to keep all subscribers anonymous unless they want to be revealed. But the situation with my subscriber is he does exceptionally well for himself. He has a very loving family, one that he loves, values, and cherishes. very much and an amazing job. And it's one that's demanding and requires a high level of critical thinking skills with reports, presentations, emails. Pretty much, it's one of the more difficult jobs just because it's in upper management. But the subscriber told me that the neediness of the job is to be expected, which I did understand, obviously, because what job isn't taxing or time consuming? The situation, from what he told me, appears to be more so with the family. He has a sister that he cares for unconditionally and loves very much, with a child that he feels the same way for. And anything that his sister and family ask of him, he does without question. However, the problem comes when the occurrence of the inquiries start increasing on an almost daily basis. It appears as though there are other family members that need his help, sometimes on an almost daily basis, but not as frequent as others. And he helps out in so many different areas to help improve the condition of whatever the family member is going through, but at the expense of time spent for self. And the stress has started taking its toll. For a moment, he was getting a series of cluster headaches. Now, I don't know if the demanding nature of the family paired with the demands of the job and life in general is the culprit for the headaches, but we can surmise that it is a possibility, especially when there's so little time for recuperation and leisure. And obviously, you do anything for family, you don't want to let them down. But over time, when nothing changes, it starts to make you wonder if your kindness is being taken for granted. Is your contribution to helping alleviate a situation starting to depreciate in value? Does this person place value in you, or do they place value in what you can do for them? And I think we have to ask ourselves these series of questions, because understand that when you give and give and give, you look down at yourself to see that you don't have enough left to give to yourself to make sure that you're good. And this can be with the amount of time you have for yourself. This can be with the amount of money you have to keep for yourself, or in any other respective area of life. But the point is, when it comes to what is best for your sanity, we have to put ourselves first. And I think it's important to place emphasis on this. I know there's a lot of us out there with a superhero cape on, and we don't want to let anyone down, but in the process of not letting anyone down, in a way, it's like we let ourselves down, because we've given ourselves to everyone and everything, and then the expectation is there still to continue the cycle, because we don't even realize that sometimes we create the environment for us to be the superhuman being that can be there for everyone. And this isn't to try and place blame or anything, but I'm just saying that by continuing to engage in this behavior, we facilitate the setting for imminent depreciation. And I know it's extremely difficult for some of us because we're so conditioned to say, yes, I'll be right there, that saying no is like it's foreign. But if you were to set a goal for yourself, try to see if there's a way you can work towards saying no in a way that's subtle but still get your point across. This way, it doesn't come across as confrontational or from a place of rage or anger, and the person sees that you have limits and can only do so much. Because one thing that people around us have to understand is that we're human, and we deserve to be treated with the same level of respect and courtesy, just the same as everyone else. Plus, subconsciously, I don't think some Black people are aware or understand that by not saying anything and just saying yes to everything creates a cumulative amount of stress that accrues each time we don't say no to something. And in the same sense, we internalize that response we wish we could have given, and that may or may not lead to a form of post resentment. And the worst thing we can do is lash out completely against a loved one because we've reached our breaking point. And then we say something that we regret with deep remorse. Once again, I will say that it is up to us in turn to let our loved ones know that we are dealing with a lot and we need to have our days where we just rest. This rest day is dedicated to you to do whatever you find to be the most cathartic and soothing. If you want to sit outside or go to the park and read a book, maybe take a yoga class, which I hear is very relaxing, then by all means do it, and do it without hesitation. Sometimes there are underlying circumstances that aren't an emergency that may still elicit your presence, and that happens in life. But all I'm saying is, don't forget about yourself in the process of all of these unforeseen obligations. We almost lose our identity of who we are and become known as the go-to person, the person who has the solution for every single problem. And this isn't something we should normalize. When other people's problems become a part of our routines, then we have a serious issue. A contingency plan should always be put in place to where you are not the primary. Effort should be taken and exhausted to ensure you are the last resort. And to my subscriber that is going through this difficult time, I just want to say that I'm very sorry and I'm extremely apologetic because I couldn't even imagine what must be going through your mind. And my advice would be to probably see if you can occasionally get into the habit of subtly telling your family that your availability is something that won't always be absolute and that you need time to regroup and de stress. They should not interpret this as anything hostile because it's in regards to your health. And this is why Black mental health is so important because this is a situation in which he has to suppress his true feelings to not hurt the people he loves, but by doing so, we hurt ourselves internally. And to those who may be going through something similar with someone else, I would say the same thing. Make it a point of telling the person or people that you don't always have to be available to assist because you do have other priorities that need to be tended to, and they're of equal significance. I really am most passionate about doing the Black mental health videos because we are slowly but surely opening up the conversation about it in our community. And if we continue having these conversations, it brings to light the issues that we remain silent on. But in the meantime, make sure you guys get in the comment section and let me know what you guys think regarding the Black mental health discussions and if you have any advice for the subscriber. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for your continued support. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and share, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.